Hello, this is Eric. Today is July the 6th, 2023, and in this video, we'll be studying the history of Brazil once again, particularly the territory expansion, that is, the process that helped shape the national territory until it became what it is now, right? And our first question is one by the FGV University. Let's read it. The strategy for penetrating into the backlands, if it was widely used by the settlers of São Paulo, emerged in the Jesuit catechization. Although for opposite reasons, both the Jesuit incursions timid, it is true, as they did not go much beyond the Piratininga nucleus, and the settlers' flags and entrances had the same objective, the indigenous, right? And our question is, the fragment shows part of the conditions that originated, and then we have the alternatives. Let me activate here my pen. Oops, this one, okay. So the fragment shows part of the conditions that originated. The war waged between the Catholic Church in favor of indigenous enslavement. No way. The Catholic Church was against the indigenous enslavement. So this one is wrong. Let me write it here. So this one is wrong. The conflict between settlers and religious for controlling indigenous labor present in the surroundings of São Paulo. Yes, this is the correct alternative. Although the Catholic Church was against the indigenous enslavement, they did rely on the indigenous, to help them with the missions implemented by the Jesuits. So yeah, this one is right. Let's go to our second question, and it says, between the 16th and 17th centuries, the basis of the colonial economy in the Portuguese America, let me write it here, in the Portuguese America, were organized in a forced coexistence between whites, blacks, and indigenous. Regarding this long process of economic and social ordering, it is correct to state that the first contacts between Portuguese and indigenous peoples were marked by enormous violence. No, not really. We learned that in the beginning, when the Portuguese came, there was an exchange between the Portuguese and the indigenous peoples. And this exchange was peaceful in the beginning. So no way, this one is wrong. And the indigenous were not an obstacle to exploiting the land. No, actually they helped the Portuguese because they knew the territory. Second alternative says the fertility of the soil allowed the planting of sugarcane to spread throughout the coast. The wealth produced by the sugarcane was responsible for the success of the hereditary captaincies. No, the hereditary captaincies were not really successful. As a matter of fact, they were replaced by the governor, the government general, but the general governors in the land, right? So this one is also wrong. Third alternative says, the Catholic Church openly supported the activities of enslaving indigenous people by the trailblazers of São Paulo. What? The Catholic Church openly supported the activities of enslaving indigenous people by the trailblazers of São Paulo? No way. Actually, they were against it, and they had many conflicts with the trailblazers because of that. So no way, this one is also wrong. The contact with the different indigenous peoples allowed the Portuguese to acquire the necessary knowledge for clearing the backlands. The flags constituted a profitable enterprise thanks to the value attributed to the enslaved indigenous. Yes, this one is right. Alternative, let me see here, D, yes. The contact with the different indigenous peoples allowed the Portuguese to acquire the necessary knowledge for clearing the backlands. Yes, the flags constituted a profitable enterprise thanks to the value attributed to the enslaved indigenous. Correct. The church's, and the last alternative, the church's support for enslaving indigenous. No, the church did not support the enslavement of the indigenous, right? Well, yes, basically, this is it. So if you have any questions about this topic, you can go to my YouTube profile and watch the video on this topic of the territory expansion, right? It is very important that you watch it so you can know more about these questions, for example, and also other questions, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this video and see you in our next video on the history of Brazil.